Hey everybody, this is Mikey, MDMax09, Mikey's Video Game Madness. However you know me by, it's me. I usually don't do a lot of these because I usually don't know what to say, and today is no different, but I'm gonna try to talk even though I don't know what to say. So, what's there to talk about? Well, one thing that's new is the Wii U is coming out, and I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I really haven't heard many people even talk about it. Pretty much every game that's come out has been already out on a different system. And the only difference of the Wii U is that it has a screen. This is supposed to be next generation. There's really no killer app. I mean, you have Mario U and then Zombie U. Apparently everything's gonna have U at the end of the title, and that's it. And like, none of them stand out. They're not different. Like, I like the platforming Mario games, but they're becoming all the same. They're becoming Nintendo's Call of Duty, which is basically just changed the formula ever so slightly. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups, of course, when I record. Anyway, yeah, so I think that they're kind of rushing this system out, and they want to, it seems like, appeal to a hardcore audience, but all they've done is basically make a system that might be slightly more powerful than the systems that are out now, and it has a screen on it with everybody that has either like their little smartphone nooks, iPod touches, and all that stuff. It's not a big deal. I mean, it works good with the Nintendo DS, but that's about it, and I just don't think anybody's excited. I think the only people that are going to be at launch are probably hardcore Nintendo fans, and I'm sure that the system's gonna be hard to find, etc. But I played a little bit of the games at GameStop. I think they had Rayman hooked up and then a bunch of demos, but so far they do not have a lineup of anything that I'm interested in. Further down the line, they'll probably have a Zelda or something, and then that's what everybody will want to play. But if you look back at the launch titles of the other Nintendo systems, original Nintendo had Super Mario Brothers, Super Nintendo had Super Mario World, and then the Nintendo 64 had Mario 64. I know they're mostly Mario games. And then the GameCube actually did not have a Mario, but I believe Luigi's Mansion came out around that time. And an even better game, one of my favorites, which was Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, which is an amazing game. The GameCube is really an underrated system. And then the Wii had Zelda. I mean, you really can't go wrong with a Zelda game as one of your launch titles. And what appealed about the Wii, even though like when the Wii came out, it was basically like the equivalent of a GameCube when the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 were clearly more advanced. It was a system that everybody could play. I mean, I know it's basic, and you could just waggle a controller usually to win and stuff like that, but it appealed to older people and people that didn't play video games, kind of like the DS did. And I just think the Wii U is overly complex for that crowd of like your grandparents, your mom and stuff, unless there's hardcore gaming and like your grandparents are your mom or dad's life or whatever. I don't think that they're gonna be into it, and I'm trying not to stereotype here, but I'm just saying that's what the appeal of the Wii was. Everybody could play it, no matter who you were. You really didn't have to learn anything. There wasn't a lot of buttons, and that's kind of the complete opposite of what the Wii U is. It has a screen, so it kind of makes it a little bit more complex. I mean, it's cool for inventory, and it has a gyroscope, blah blah blah, but it's nothing new. If I want that, I'll play it on the DS. Like, I'm not impressed, and I'm not trying to put down Nintendo. Nintendo does make good games and has a lot of decent, nice franchises, but that's about it. And for them to try to appeal to the hardcore gaming audience when all the hardcore gamers, for whatever reason I might add, are complaining that the new Xbox and PlayStation 4 Orbis or whatever isn't out yet, which I still think there's plenty of life in the old consoles, but that's just me. But when we're about to get new, like, hardcore consoles, there's just, in my opinion, no room for that type of system, and I'm probably going to be proven wrong, but that's how I feel like that. It's really not a big deal. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 came out this week, which I have to say is a pretty good game. I didn't buy Modern Warfare 3. I was pretty much done with Call of Duty games, especially when they did the creators an inventory award wrong. I didn't think that was right, and I didn't want to support the product after that. But Treyarch, or whatever the name of the company that made Call of Duty 3, World at War, Black Ops, and now Black Ops 2, I think that they're a really good company, and I think, if anything, that they should basically take over, because they actually try new things and try to be different, and so far it seems like a really cool game. I have a lot of games that I haven't shown you guys because I know everybody's making a video of them right now, and it just wouldn't be that interesting. It would just get lost in like a list of hundreds of videos of the same thing, so I'm trying to hold back on like the really popular games right now before I make videos of them and stuff like that. But so far it seems pretty good. I'm not particularly a huge fan of the real-time strategy elements of it. It seems kind of clunky, the AI is kind of off, but beside that, it seems really cool. And if you have a 3D TV, it actually enhances the experience, which I can't always say for most games, like Assassin's Creed 3, which is an amazing game. If you're into that series at all, and you have the extra money, like, don't walk, run to the store and get that, because that game is pretty amazing. I'd actually probably would say it's better than Call of Duty Black Ops 2, but I haven't finished Black Ops 2 or played any of the online stuff. I'm personally more of a Battlefield fan for the online, so I don't think it's going to change my opinion too much. But yeah, like Assassin's Creed 3 is a great game that has 3D support, but it doesn't have the same kind of appeal as Black Ops 2 does in 3D. Now, I have a complaint about Black Ops 2 on the PlayStation 3, as well as other bad PlayStation 3 ports. I'm getting sick and tired, especially this far into the system's lifespan, of these shitty quick ports. I'll be more than happy to wait a few extra months to not get a rushed copy of like the game. I have no doubt in my mind that they could have did a better job of bringing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 to the PlayStation 3, and it's nothing major like or game breaking, like it doesn't have a frame rate issue really, and it plays perfectly and it plays fine, but it doesn't look as sharp as like the Xbox 360 version. And basically part of the reason is that I guess companies still think that this this hardware anti-aliasing, you can write down what it is. I can't think of what it's called offhand, that blurs everything on the PlayStation 3. It just doesn't work. They use it in a lot of first-party PlayStation games, like the Insomniac games. But like if you look at, say, Battlefield 3 is like crystal clear. I mean, you can turn off the anti-aliasing and it still looks good. Like, I would rather deal with aliasing than this blur feature. Like, I hate to say it, like, games would look so much better with aliasing versus that little blur filter that they put on the PlayStation 3, because it degrades the textures and everything looks blurry. It reminds me of the Nintendo 64 games that come out and you just didn't want to play them because it looked like Vaseline was smeared all over the screen. Like, I enjoyed PlayStation 1 games so much more because even though they were jagged, they were still clear and they looked good. At least to me, that's my opinion, and I would have much rather them take all the anti-aliasing out of Call of Duty and just have the jagged edges and stuff like that. Another issue is freezing and stuff like that. I'm sure that'll be fixed, and from what I've heard, it's been on almost every single version of the game. But that's part of the problem of trying to rush a game out early. So I've watched a lot of your guys' videos. I've tried to comment on many as much as I possibly could. See, Benway kind of did something cool where he recorded all of his answers to all the comments that people, or a majority of the comments that people wrote to him on his channel, and I thought that was pretty cool. But if I don't comment on your channel, I'd like have a lot of subscriptions. Like, I'm kind of like a whore when it comes to subscribing. Like, if it's gaming related, especially like older games, I'm usually gonna subscribe as long as I can understand the person and get what they're saying and they're showing decent amount of gameplay. Like, I usually subscribe. So if I don't always comment on your video, I at least click like to support your video and stuff like that. But I try to comment as much as I possibly can. Sometimes I just don't know always what to say besides just like thumbs up, great video, and you don't want that because somebody else probably said it and you're probably cocky and you probably already think your video is great. So I don't need to build up any egos here, but I try to. And whenever you guys write to me, I'm pretty sure that I've replied to everybody. I'm pretty good about that. So yeah, if I don't respond to your videos, like, you can check my Twitter page, which you should already be a member of, a lot of you. Why haven't you like started to follow me is beyond me. No, I'm not pressuring you, but like, if you look at the Twitter page, because they don't really, not Facebook, YouTube has been pretty crappy about like showing updates of the people. And I noticed they don't even show all your subscribers anymore. It'll like have a huge number of the subscribers, but if you actually look at the subscriber list, it's not nearly as long. And I know the people have icons, because I know it used to not display icons if the people didn't have like a portrait or whatever, but now it's barely displaying anything. And there's this little feed bar where it says like what your activity was, or what you did, or what your uploads were. And that just becomes a royal pain in the ass to follow, because I don't know what the hell YouTube is doing, but they're kind of messing it up. So if you want to see if I saw your video and liked it, like, it usually says it on Twitter, and I basically use my Twitter account just for my YouTube videos and stuff like that. There's not a lot of other stuff I cover. Every once in a while I'll put a little quote or something there, but it's mostly for my channel because the feed on YouTube sucks. So if you want to follow what videos I like, or what I've subscribed to, or what videos I've commented on, or when I've added a video, definitely add me on Twitter. And you can find that information on my channel page, unless YouTube takes that off. I probably need to make a splash page at the end of my videos to like, so I don't have to keep on saying that, because I think some people just don't know. Yeah, I think that about does it for today's talkie type video. I don't want to make these too long and bore you guys to death. There's probably more stuff I want to say, and I'll probably think about it the minute I push stop on here. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll do an open tag, but it's a stupid one. If you could have any vehicle from any movie, what would it be? And that includes like the TARDIS from Doctor Who to the telephone booth, the Bill and Ted, to the Batmobile. I don't care what. And the reason why I thought about this, because I was on Facebook, and on the Ghostbuster page I saw that they just released, they just released pictures of the Ecto 1A diecast metal car. I guess Hot Wheels or something's making it, and it looks really cool, but it's super expensive. Like, I'll never be able to afford it. And I was like, man, that's so cool. And I was just thinking about, it's like, would be such a cool car to drive. But actually, the car I would pick would be like the DeLorean Mach 2 from Back to the Future 2, the one with the Mr. Fusion, because I don't know where the hell I would get plutonium from, and it flies. So it's in time travels. It's a win-win. Unfortunately, I'd have to modify it to be an automatic because I can't drive a stick shift. And I remember watching the making of Back to the Future where Michael J. Fox said every time he tried to switch the gear shift, it would like kind of cut his hands on the little, what would you call that, the little metal display that shows like what the year and like time was and all that stuff. So yeah, it would be that particular DeLorean, because like if you have a Mr. Fusion, you can just take a bunch of cans or rocks or whatever. Like if there's a dead cat on the side of the road, you could probably put that in a Mr. Fusion and use that for time travel. I don't know how it deals with like organic materials that were once living. Like it might have some weird rules like the teleporters from The Fly. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll do more of these if this is good. Maybe I won't, I don't know, but I'm not recording like my face or whatever on here because there's really no point with the kind of camera I have. Like the sound's pretty bad, so I'll probably add some gameplay footage like while this is playing, so you'll have something to entertain you just in case I'm too boring. But anyway, guys, thanks again for listening / watching, and thank you guys for leaving your comments, and for those of you that make videos, like, thank you for making YouTube one of the few decent things left to watch on earth that just isn't like the kind of crap that's on TV. Like, I don't even watch TV thanks to YouTube. Thank you guys for not making me have to watch some of this stuff that's on TV. Though there are a handful of good shows, but that's a whole different video altogether. Alright, I'm rambling. So, thank you for watching, listening, whatever, and I'll talk to you guys later. Alright guys, bye.